Hello everyone, it is I, Roman, and I am back with When is Rome, the podcast. I'm your hostess with the mostest, and tonight I'm here with Jason, another friend. Say hello.
Hello.
Hola. Thank you for being here. Bom dia everyone, depending upon when, depending on when you listen to or watch this, it'll be a day for you, so it might be the day for you, so we're just gonna assume it's a day, because normally I'm like, tonight we're dropping, but I'm like, today, you know what I mean? You're like, it's not really funny. It's fine, it's just like, I'm just a plus size hole, sir, I can't be funny for everything. So tonight we're dropping some new shit, and that is a panel that I've been thinking about doing for a while, and I was happy to finally be able to bring this panel to you and present it to you. It's being a ginger. So do you have any ginger friends?
Not many.
Not many?
But yeah, I know a handful.
Right, there's a lot of them. So if you have any ginger friends out there, you may have heard some of the stories about what they go through. And let me tell you, people really think they can just say anything they want to fucking gingers. Like the thing that they say to ginger is crazy. And so listening to their experience allowed me to feel a lot of the commonalities between their experience, between like a ginger and mine as a black man. Not equating them, not saying they're the same, you know what I mean? Like one diaspora doesn't have to be better or worse than another,
right?
But you can find some commonalities, you know what I mean? Some generous, some unity. So that's actually why I wanted to do this. So stay tuned as a news recap, and as I get into all the fiery details of being a ginger with two of my friends. I'm also excited to bring you some new editing elements. I've been learning some new things. You know what I mean? I'm like amazing, guys. Like when I just like learn a skill and then just get better at it. And then also I've got like some tips from friends. So I'm really excited to bring you those. Let me know your thoughts. It's supposed to be like, you know what I mean? Whatever. Sometimes I'm like, this is how you should do it because this is how other people do it. You know, sometimes I'm like, fuck you. And then sometimes I'm like, you're right.
Yeah, sometimes you can learn from other people.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So let me know what you guys think, but it's exciting to like learn new things and bring it here, bring it to you guys, so we can all be on this journey together. Next week, I'm going to be dropping a rerun of an interview I had, I think it might have been a couple years ago when I sat down with the amazing Lady Camden. You know Lady Camden, yeah. It was cool about her. She's one of like the first people who believed in the podcast. She was definitely the first big name person that I got. It's probably still to this day one of the big name people that I've had and sat down with. So I really, really appreciate her just like lending just like her aura to the podcast to sit down. So I definitely wanted to like remind people about that. So I'm going to be running that rerun next week, at least for the first part of that interview. And then the week after that, we're going to be dropping some new shit. So you can stay tuned for some new panels. I've got a panel coming up on how to be having a MAGA relative. We'll talk about that, right? So if you've ever wanted to know how these white people, let's just I do have someone on the panel who's Hispanic who's an MAGA relative. Because we know that's the whole thing, those third or fourth generations. Right? So like I'm interested to see like, you know what I mean? What is it like having a MAGA relative? Do they still talk? Are you know what I mean? Are you trying to get them, bring them back into the light or out of the light or into the light or into the white? You know what I mean?
Out of the darkness.
Just there you go. Or into the darkness depending upon how you see white. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We've definitely got some new interviews coming up. But until then, let's get into this. Everyone get your mood enhancers, please. On the count of 3, we're going to enhance ourselves. 1, 2, 3. Consider yourself enhanced. Happening since we last saw each other. So happy Pride, everyone. Hey, faggots.
Happy Pride.
You know what I mean? I don't even like the word faggots, but, hey, faggots. You know what I mean? But I did want to say, like, I feel like it's more important to call out Pride Month now more than ever. We've got an administration that is straight up trying to take the country back to the 60s, where we didn't have nearly as many laws in place to protect our rights. And this is what Pride is really for, right? The fight to stand up for our rights, the fight to be seen, heard, allowed to live. So this Pride Month, I want everyone to go out there and live loud, live proud, but also go out and help fight the fight, because we need all of it now more than ever. We need people living their lives out there loud and proud, but we also need people like taking the fight to the man so that we can continue to live free. Don't take these freedoms for granted, but just be grateful for those that fought before you so you can enjoy these freedoms, and you pay them back by continuing that fight in whatever ways you can, right? Like, yeah. I mean, we're not all you don't have to be on the front lines, but you got to be on the line.
Yeah. I mean, and pride is really important because we're taught to be ashamed of ourselves.
Yeah.
So, this month is really important to remember that you are perfect just the way you are.
Yeah, you're perfect just the way you are. You sparkle just the way you are. And the beauty of pride is to help you align and meet other people who can help you and show you, or, different ways to sparkle or blah, blah, blah. Especially if you're coming from a place where you don't feel like you can sparkle.
That's right.
But it's really important also that we're not out there just celebrating. I think that's important, and that, and that's part of the fight. But it's also organizing. It's also donating. It's also recognizing. It could be helping. It could be volunteering. It could just be making other people feel seen. It could be reaching out to people that that
just being supportive.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to to carry that, because we need to be reaching those, pushing that pride out there, and not just kind of resting on the fact that we have pride.
Yep.
Do you have any plans for Pride Month?
Well, I'm DJing some parties. My birthday's on Sunday, so that's always cool to have.
This Sunday?
Yes.
Well, damn, bitch, you could have told us. Okay, happy birthday! Oh my God, everyone! Let's all say happy birthday. We're gonna say happy birthday, Jason, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Jason. For those of you who didn't say the word Jason, I told you his name was Jason earlier. And I know some of your dumbasses were like, happy birthday, Felipe. No, it's Jason.
It is Jason.
That's cool.
Yeah, so having a party on Sunday for that.
Okay.
And parties that I'm DJing. And just
all around being prideful.
Just being prideful.
Yeah,
exactly. Trying to bring some joy through music.
On all fours or not. Hopefully it's a little bit of both, right? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, and hopefully some column D.
Yeah. A lot of column D.
Thank y'all. Okay, so let's talk about the primaries from last week, right? Because we had a voters guide. So I wanted to see, we can talk a little bit about where we kind of came out. How do you think did you think we came out? Did we come out where you thought we would come out?
I mean, I was a little disappointed with the congressional race.
Why?
Because I didn't want Scott Wiener to be in it, and I didn't like Connie Chan necessarily.
Right.
I was pulling for Shoikai Chakrabarty. He didn't make it. The governor's race, I was going for Tom Steyer. He didn't make it. So, it was a little disappointing, but, it is what it is. It's the people spoke, and I'm glad people voted at least, and,
We'll go from there, yeah.
Yeah, we just had to take it from here.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, it looks like it's Steve Hoyer and Becerra, right, are leading for governor. Karen Bass and hopefully it's been...
Hilton, I think. The Republican?
Oh, is it still Steve Hilton?
Steve Hilton,
I don't know why I said Steve Hoyer. Ooh, because I was wondering if I think I put those two names together. Steve Hilton, who we do not like.
No.
Anybody named Hilton? Come on now, bro.
He's from Britain too.
Right.
He ain't even from here.
Girl, Paris, Steve. None of those people should be running anything but a hotel. Okay. So I'm happy for Javier Becerra just because, like I said, I generally like a policy wonk. You know what I mean, more than anything else right now. So I'm cool with that. Karen Bass for LA. It's Karen Bass right now with Scott Pratt or Spencer Pratt in leading, but hopefully it's Nithya will come ahead because we don't. I mean, I'm here for a conservative. I generally don't want to say that we're Republican anymore because they just ruined that term. But I'm here for a conservative. I don't feel like, us being a one-center party in this state, it really does us good. You know what I mean? So I do think that we need, another counterpoint to fight some good fights. I don't know if Nithya will do that with Karen Bass. I think, in terms of if they're both going to be left.
Plus didn't mean that.
Good.
I was going to say the one party kind of gets complacent too.
Yeah.
They need a little bit of push.
Yeah. So I'm sure Nithya will push Karen, and there's a lot, that we can push Karen on. Although I have been listening to a lot of podcasts in LA, and when you listen to a lot of them, they talk about just how limited the LA mayor is in terms of power, right? Like the city council and the blah blah. And they say some of the similar things about SF, like the SF mayor compared to other mayors, the supervisory council has a lot more power than say maybe in other major cities like New York or Chicago or whatever. So it's kind of interesting to see how all of that plays into kind of how we view the mayor. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the president, right? Like the president, we blame them for the economy and all that kind of stuff. But presidents, except for Trump with all the dumb shit he does, presidents have very little effect on the economy in general. You know what I mean? But we blame them for it greatly.
Well, yeah, they're seen as the figurehead for everything, so they get a lot of the blame.
All right, so then, so hopefully it'll be Karen Bass and Nithya and not Spencer Pratt, because we just don't need another like conservative-esque figure. You know what I mean? Sorry, not conservative, Trump-esque figure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm here for a conservative or someone on the opposite end of the spectrum, if that opposite end is not racist.
Right.
Right. Okay, so then for representative, it's Weiner and Chan. Yeah, I'm not really happy about either one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of them is not going to be fully there for Palestine. And where's Chan stand on that? Do you know?
I mean, well, she apparently has been taking APAC money, so I mean, I guess.
Yeah, girl. Like, and like, if she's if you're sponsored by Nancy Pelosi, you're probably not going to be on the forefront of the zeitgeist, like the forefront of where I want you to be with Palestine.
Yeah, when the moderate Democrats are backing you up, you ain't going to be doing no progressive stuff.
Right. So, I mean, but whatever, we'll see.
But she's got to be better than Weiner.
Yeah, I will say that. And then in terms of props C and D, it looks like both are going to fail. C definitely failed, and D, looks like it's not.
It doesn't look like
it doesn't look like it's going to pass, but they still got some votes to count, which I guess is a win for the corporations because that's what they really put prop C up there for, right? Was dilute D.
You're right.
And so I mean, it just kind of sucks that works. But as you said before, the people have spoken, and so now we need to kind of move on to to the actual general election.
Yep. And the term limit ballot measure passed.
Oh, and the term limit ballot measure passed, which is good, I guess.
Yeah.
We talked about how I was like, but I mean, it sounds better than nothing.
Right.
All right, so then, the last thing we're going to talk about happening since we now each other. So I'll put the article in the show notes, but there was basically, we have our new favorite hero. And his name is Santiago Campos, which is a really good name.
That's a cute name.
I would say something sexual about it, but this kid is high school, so I can't. But give it 2 or 3 years. Santiago, call me, girl. Santiago Campos was basically given an award, and at his press ceremony, he won a scholarship, and the scholarship was sponsored by CBS. And when he was presented with the award, he was able to speak, and this is what he said, quote, "I want to acknowledge how the recent direction of the outlet stains the legacy of Mike Wallace." Mike Wallace, quote, is the person whose name in honor of, right, that he got the award. The namesake of the scholarship, as corporate elites take hold over the very pipes through which our information flows, journalism that serves the people becomes increasingly harder to come by, yet ever more crucial. And what the people want is the truth. So if at any time you hesitate to utter the word genocide or remain silent in the face of blatant lies, remember to ask yourself, who is this for? I hope you chose us. So, I mean, yes, bitch. Woo! Speaking truth to power, baby.
Shots fired.
Right at CBS's face. Right at Barry Weiss's coocha.
Said it right to their face. I like that.
So, a little backstory, basically. So, if you guys have been following CBS, right? CBS News is probably like it's a top-rated news channel. It's been like that for 60 years. It's been like, a leader in, in news, basically in independent news, blah, blah, blah. Taken over by a billionaire, just like the Washington Post. Billionaire, of course, is fucking destroying it. He put this woman in named Barry Weiss, who is not wise, by the way, had no real knowledge about how to run a newsroom. She's been fucking it up.
She's a Zionist.
She's been firing people left and right. They just had this big thing where this guy stood up to her in a boardroom meeting because he was just saying she ruined, that she's ruining everything, and the new guy that she hired to run the newsroom is ruined. Like he has no faith in him, so they fired him because he threw a temper tantrum, saying basically like, "How dare you ruin my meeting?" Right?
Fired all the black people.
Yeah, fired all the black people. You know what I mean? Slowly but fucking surely. So I mean, like this boy Santiago Campos, the fact that he took the award, went up there and said, "Fuck you, bitches." You know what I mean? Like you are the problem.
Yes.
And that's really what that's where we're at now. You know what I mean? Like we're definitely gonna have to like start looking at other forms of media, podcasts, blah 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 blah, because the mainstream media is so corporatized now that it's not even. It might as well be. It's not Fox News, but it's like Fox News Light.
Yeah, it's like state media.
Yeah, state media. There it is. All right, let's go to a section which really pisses me off: grinding my motherfucking girdles. Really grinds my girdles.
What's that?
White downfall. And actually, so interesting when I say white downfall, it was actually coined by this random white guy that I was with, and somebody said something. Basically, what I mean by white downfall is that like the needless and unnecessary, making the idea of white a pejorative so that you can make. To build up a POC, right? Like, for instance, like I hate it when I have white friends who are like, yeah, because white people suck, or our white people suck. No, I don't. No. I don't need white people who think white people suck. You know what I mean? I need white friends who understand what the privileges that come with being white, right? Yeah. And the privileges that come with, you know, the institutions and how institutions in America can make, if you are white, life easier, and they want to help dismantle it. But like to just think of themselves negatively and think of all white things negatively is not what I need.
Yeah, because you're not even going to be motivated to do anything to help dismantle it.
Right. Plus, it's also like, and this is not like, you know, I understand that as an oppressed person and people who have been oppressed, their reactions to that oppression are going to be different, right? And so, yeah, some of it may come out like fuck white people. And if you are, you know what I mean, at the tail end of a shit ton of oppression, you have the right to, you know, avenge that. But I also think it's like, how you're saying it, where you're saying it, in response to what you're saying it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because in general, if we're, you know, like we always like, I think you said before, Jason, we're not, you know, you're not going to, women aren't going to be able to dismantle patriarchy by themselves, right?
Right.
And black people are not going to be able to dismantle, you know, the institutions of white, you know, structure by themselves. They're going to need white people to do it. And you generally don't recruit white people through, you don't recruit people through shame. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you got all white people suck. And because you suck, that means that you guys should like be on my team. And like, people, you know what I mean? It's not just, that's generally not how you get people to flock to your team.
Yeah, and plus, it's really a matter of helping people understand how these oppressive systems oppress them too.
Right.
You know, like men are oppressed by patriarchy.
Right.
So
fierce.
It's just about informing people, letting them know like how this system isn't actually helping you.
Right.
You know, because at the core of it, there's only one race, the human race. Mm-hmm. That's it. So we're all humans, and we all need to be not necessarily in community altogether, but we do need to understand that we're on this planet together, and we need to make it work together.
Plus, if you're thinking about white people in the pejorative as the only way to think about white people, you're thinking about the wrong white people. Like, you know what I mean? There's tons of white allies out there. You know what I mean? There have been tons of white allies that have helped us. You know what I mean? There, you know, like civil rights movement would be nothing without the suffragettes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that was white women, right? So I mean, and that doesn't mean that civil rights movement, you know, was nothing, but it, you know what I mean? It was a collection of a lot of different diasporas that have generally got us to the rights that we kind of all have: women, men, gays, trans, you know what I mean? Trans, yada yada yada. And so it's kind of recognizing that. But yeah, it's just kind of like that because I just like, with like the white downfall thing, we don't need it. You know what I mean? Like if you're focusing on white people who, if all you think of is white people who are evil, then we need to introduce you to white people who are allies, and those white people or other white people to those allies, so they understand what allyship looks like. You know what I mean?
And I think another thing white people can do is go outside of yourself and meet people who aren't white, because that's going to help you see their humanity.
And you'll learn how to be an ally by actually being a friend with someone.
Yeah, and they'll be able to tell you about their experience as a non-white person and listen and trust what they're saying is real. And
vice versa, right? Like if you are black and you have white friends and you could understand, you know what I mean? 'Cause everyone has a struggle. Do you know what I mean? It's not saying that white people don't have any struggles. You know what I mean? We're just saying that like the institutions might make their struggles lessen. You know what I mean? If you were a certain type of white, because as you said, white, you know what I mean? Like patriarchy hurts blend, and the institutions that help white people generally hurt almost everyone, but a very small subset of white people. You know what I mean?
Like, that is why we don't have universal health care, because there were white people when we had a chance to get that that didn't want black people to have it.
Right.
So, you know, those people are hurting their grandchildren now because we don't have universal health care because of racism.
Right.
And, you know, people need to realize that you're hurting from this system as well. White people need to realize that.
Yes, they do. And with that, let's go to something that always makes me feel better: party reviews. And we're back for party reviews. Did you have a good weekend, Jason?
I did.
I had a pretty good weekend, full of like some Brazilian dick, some boom boom, you know.
Okay.
And my boom boom. All right, so let's see what parties you. So I went to Boom Boom at Great Northern. It was really good on Saturday. If you guys remember, Boom Boom used to start out at Bo, and so it's like nice to see parties like kind of start and then they kind of germinate and they do a lot more at Bo. And now it's having like, you know what I mean, like I don't know if it's quarterly or whatever, Great Northern, but that was cool. Went to this like amazing Brazilian DJ, Pedro whatever, on Saturday. It was just like Brazilian. Like, okay. You know, I love that. Okay, Boa noite, bitch. Okay. What about you? What did you do this weekend?
So my friend Frankie and I, we did a party called Dirty Talk at Driftwood, which was like super fun. It was like we just played 30-minute sets off each other the whole night. We had really good chemistry in the booth, so people had fun. It was great. They want to have us back, so we'll be doing another one soon.
All right, bitch. All right, so let's see what we have coming up. We have like 5 parties coming up tomorrow, which is why I have to drop this tonight, because we have like a party at the Stud with Gemini, which is back. We have a party at Swig. That's what you're doing, right?
Yes.
Yes, Swig. Want to talk about it?
Yeah, it's for the SF Queer Arts and Music Festival. So yeah, it's going to start at 10 p.m. It's at Swig in Union Square. And it's going to be, I actually haven't played there before, so it'll be pretty interesting to play a new venue.
Yeah, new venue, play a Swig and get Swigged. All right, and then we have Hard Reset at Cafe, which will be cute. It's a little party, it'll be a kickoff party. I'll probably be like at both of y'all, so just, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You know, I like to hop, skipping back and forth, baby.
Get around.
Wait, where is Swig?
It's on Geary.
Okay.
Yeah, I can.
That basically means you don't know.
It's Geary and Union Square. So.
Okay, so Union Square. Okay, that's close then. That's like close to me. I'm not gonna tell you motherfuckers where I live, but I guess I could just say like a Union Square. You know what I mean? Sure, girl. If you see me walking around Union Square, you know I'm a hoe. On 620, there's the next Maximus at Bo. This one's gonna be amazing with the DJ Sakalem, and apparently he's like a Missy Elliott of DJs, like because he like produces a lot of the circuit music that we hear today. And so now he's like, or maybe a Kanye, right? He produces a lot of circuit music today, and now he's putting out his own shit or whatever, or DJing on his own. So I'm really excited. If you guys were at the last Maximus, woo! It was off. Okay. It went off at Maximus, okay? Woo! And I plan to go off there again. And then on 620 at the Eagle, we have another Young Hearts. And that is I think next week I'll probably start talking about the Pride. Their Pride selections. People are already asking me like, "What are you doing for Pride?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's the second, but like our Pride is like the 3rd week of the month, right? Like I don't know yet, but for the purposes of the podcast, I will figure it out. So and also it'll be good for me to know, because then I can just have a blurb and be like, leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? Oh, you want to know what I'm doing for Pride? Check out my podcast. Stop asking me. Now, do you want to fuck me for Pride? Bonjour, I'm awake. I'm available and here. And with you guys, let's leave that with you guys thinking about fucking me for Pride. On that note, we're going to go to break, and we'll be back to talk about world news. And we're back with world news. Okay. He snuck onto a forbidden island for YouTube footage, and he said he'd do it again. Synopsis. A YouTuber who illegally landed on one of the world's most restricted islands has said he would probably do it again as he begins releasing footage from the journey that led to his arrest. Mikhaila Polyakov from Arizona, by the way, that's an interesting name, from Arizona, traveled to India, spending... he traveled to India near the North Sentinel Island shore. He spent hours there before briefly landing on the beach, where he attempted to spot the isolated Sentinelese tribe. Sentinelese tribe. The area is protected by a strict exclusion zone designed to shield them from contact, which should expose them to disease or threaten their survival, or just, expose them to fucking, I was going to say white people, but it's not even white people. It's us. Okay, gringos. Right. Anyway, all of us. Polyakov knew the dangers and went anyway, was in the area for a couple hours, planned to get them on camera or speak to them. After leaving the island, he was arrested. He said he was aware of the legal consequences, but wasn't worried it would be too harsh, he said, and he was right for the most part, that he said. Polyakov was fined 15,000 rupees, which is $158, and held for 3 weeks.
$158?
$158.
That's wild. I mean, this was giving Christopher Columbus, right? It's just like just go over there.
I was so annoyed when I put this in because I was like, this is why we need to end this whole mindset. You know what I mean? This whole this is what it propagates through this whole Trumpist, this whole, you know what I mean, Putin, this whole Xi Jinping, this idea that that is mine because I say it's mine because of some formula that I made up in my motherfucking head that nobody believes. You know what I mean? Putin, because of whatever he believes, thinks that Ukraine is his. Xi Jinping for whatever fucking formula and whatever. I don't give a fuck what happened ancestrally. It's in your fucking head, you old bitch. Thinks that you can have Taiwan, and now you know what I mean. And Trump just thinks he can just take all over Latin America,
right?
You know what
I mean?
Greenland, and this is how that idea propagates to the white minds or to the minds of other people. In this case, it's not even white. I don't even Michaelia Pakalakbakov. Jesus.
I mean, I can understand being curious because these people. There's not much known about them.
Yeah,
I understand that, but the fact that you could go over there and actually wipe them out because they aren't vaccinated, they don't have the same resistance to diseases that we do,
right?
And you're willing to do that for content,
right? Like the fact, everything about him was him. Everything about this was in his thing. I went because I wanted to go. Because I just want to get them on camera. You want to get them on camera. You're not a you're not a scientist. You're not an anthropologist. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not anyone who studies these people who, you know what I mean? Maybe you're trying to figure out what we even know. Because anyone who studies them wouldn't try to contact them. Do you know what I mean? But you're just some random YouTuber who thinks that because you go there and your name has no consonants or vowels in it, that somehow that means, you know what I mean? That your name needs more vowels and consonants, that sound means that you can just go and just talk to another person. And then like you said, your diseases could destroy and wipe out their entire tribe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just you coughing could destroy them, and you don't care about that at all.
No.
Or anything else on you. There's so many other things on you, just seeing things, or just the nature of modern anything, introducing it to a place to a people who haven't seen it could cause ramifications. You know what I mean? Just look what happens when we introduce shit like social media. Imagine social media to a group of, you know what I mean?
And these people, they killed somebody that went to the island a few years ago.
Good. They should have killed this motherfucker.
I mean, he didn't care about that.
Right. You know
but the penalty needs to be way stiffer.
That's what I was saying. That's another thing. So it's I brought this up because it's this conquistador mindset is still kind of out there, and this is how it kind of propagates to people. Because remember, we did the article months ago about these boys in Texas who decided they just wanted to take over an island in Haiti, and they decided they wanted to take some classes about running a dinghy, and then they were going to go down there, and all 9,500 people were just going to say, throw up their arms and say, we get that,
right?
You know what I mean? And this is because that mindset just keeps going and it keeps spreading, and people really do think. Look at this. This is Christopher Columbus. People really do think that you could he just up and decided, and it probably took 17 hours to get there. You know what I mean? And I'm sure it wasn't easy. And yo bitch ass, you know what I mean, with too many consonants and not enough vowels in your name, and you decide that you're gonna go down to the Sentinelese and show them what you're probably rather small penis, which hey, and dicks don't gotta be big, you know what I mean? But let's just say what is his name? Michaelia Polikov is a bitch.
Yeah. And those people don't want to see you no way.
No, they want to see somebody whose name is easy to say. Okay? Someone hey, Roman girl, hey, girl, I can say your name no matter what dialect it's in. Michaelia Polikov, girl, no, girl, why don't you go, I don't know. I don't even know who this person is from. I don't want to be racist to his name, but he is a bitch. But I just it was just everything about this, the hubris, the whatever, the fact that he knew he was going to get nothing. He got a slap on the wrist, 150 rupees. Or
$158.
$158. That's because he's American. He even knew that he should be banned from traveling to that country. He should be, he should get fined thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He should be made to have to maybe volunteer for other conservation groups in America, or pay reparations or something.
Yeah, and he was held for 3 weeks, which isn't a long time.
It isn't a long
relative
time.
to what he did.
He could have done. He could have destroyed an entire people.
Right.
You know what I mean? mean? That's fucking crazy. And the fact that it's like we need to like prioritize. You know what I mean? Like we just did it last week about those motherfuckers who blocked the intersection of the intersection. They were trying to get 14 years. This motherfucker almost killed 45 people, and he gets 3 weeks.
I mean, $158, you could get a speeding ticket.
Right.
For more than that.
Sure. You can't even buy 2 bags. Okay, let's go to American news. And we're back with American news. I don't even realize I'm annoyed that I even have to talk about this topic. You know what I mean? Like, I had to put it on there because it's like, like we got to talk about it. But are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay. I didn't even told you guys about the topic. Sorry. Inside the UFC's $60 million made-for-TV White House gambit. Yes, that's right, everyone. If you have forgotten, because I had completely fucking forgotten because there's so much going on, they're building an Octagon in front of the White House.
Crazy.
So, if you haven't heard, they are building a huge UFC fighting expedition, Octagon, outside of the White House to celebrate America's 250th birthday and Trump's 80th. They are doing a UFC cage fight outside because Trump had this idea back in 2024, and no one thought he would go through with it, but they did. Paramount Plus, which is a merger before the government, is putting it on, and it will have a focus on fights, but also on patriotic imagery. I can't wait to see what kind of patriotic imagery the MAGA, America First, white UFC crowd puts on during this spectacle.
This country is an embarrassment. This is so embarrassing. Like, why? It's like, really? Like, this is what the fuck we doing? Like, I just cannot. Like, these people are so
stupid. It makes us look so dumb.
It does.
We're doing like, this is not like not the Coliseum. You know what I mean? We're literally building. You built But you know what's one thing I will say that like this is why I think people like Trump, in the sense that there is a little bit of magic in this idea of like doing kind of whatever you want, like doing like doing completely new things, and you know what I mean, because like people are really tired of this idea of like tradition and tradition being the only thing that you can do, and you know what I mean. Especially when it comes to these things like governments, right? So there is a magic if you are one of the few people who can influence opinion into getting someone to do whatever you want. You know what I mean? And it's kind of a spectacle because it won't ever happen again. Because my God, it's stupid.
It is so dumb. I mean, I miss the days when politicians just governed.
Yeah,
like when they weren't about attention and creating some kind of spectacle like this. It's
right.
It's just so damn embarrassing. Like, I don't like
a UFC fight, not even like any of the other sports. Not that I don't like UFC, but like a blood sport cage match. You know what I mean? In front of the White House at a time when we're like causing wars across the world that we don't even need. You know what I mean? It's just like. Everything about it is so gross. It's so gross. It's like, I'm chucking. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And it's on his birthday.
Oh my God. I literally upchucked in my mouth just thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like everything about it is so disgusting. And it's so gross. It is so interesting. It's so like, it's so just like them trying to harken back to this era, but it's like these like the snippets of eras, right? Like you're a Roman emperor, and we have the Colosseum and yada yada yada. Yep. But none of the other things about Rome, you know what I mean? But like it's just like we're just picking and pulling and trying to like create this like imagery, and it just like a Trump, anything Trump. It's a collection of a lot of like bright shit that looks horrible.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. Like Trump Tower. You know what I mean? Like Trump anything.
All the gold,
the God,
it's tacky.
It's tacky. You're having a UFC fight. And you know what the funny thing is, and of course what's really is most of the fighters are going to be people of color. Do you know what I mean? So then it's that whole thing. So it's just that too. It's like, you know what I mean? You've got this, like, the Coliseum where you had the slaves fighting each other, blah, 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 blah. It's sending this whole message of that. And God, Dana White, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta like, oh God. Like, but
And Paramount is behind it.
Yeah, and this whole story about Paramount being behind it. The whole thing in the article, they're putting all this money up. You know what I mean? And you know why? Oh, because they're not planning to get paid for it. Why? Oh, because they have a merger in front of, you know what I mean, the government, which is what all this is. It's also interesting that I brought up is because it just shows how corporatized America has become. You know what I mean? The idea that we're willing to like for revenue, for views. You know, we're willing to like take something as sacred as the White Wing or the White House, you know what I mean? And take something as sacred as that and just like put any kind of like, you know, commercial thing on top of it so that people are gonna like, you know, even the article, like people are gonna tune in because they get to see the White House like they've never seen it. Like, girl, like no other country is trying to like spruce up their White House. Right. You know what I mean? Like the Kremlin's not trying to put roses on it, you know what I mean? So people make it feel better. You know what I mean?
Like I said, it's just so embarrassing.
It's so bad. And it so just speaks to the corporatization of this fucking country. Like, my fucking God. Yeah. Let's go to local fucking news. And we're back with local news. I was going to say American news. Bitch, you better know where we're at. Okay. So Trump announces new coal export terminal in Oakland. Yes, you heard that right. Trump announces a new coal export terminal in Oakland. Coal. Dirty ass coal. So Trump is evoking the Defense Production Act, a Cold War era. I love how Trump just like, he'll go back to like 1912, 1902.
Right, to fucking Cold War.
To find some act or whatever. So basically, the Defense Production Act, the Cold War era emergency law to pour nearly $700 million into coal plants and a new Oakland export terminal he calls vital to national security. The plan would upgrade 13 coal plants, build new plants in Alaska and West Virginia, restart a shuttered Maryland plant, and for the first time export U.S. coal from a terminal in California. Environmental and consumer advocates warn that the move props up a declining, dirtier, and often more expensive fuel than renewables, raising utility bills, worsening air pollution, and undermining climate goals in the U.S. and abroad. Jesus Christ, I can't.
Like, what is his obsession with coal? He just will not give this up. It's like, and he calls it beautiful all this fucking time. Like, why? It's not beautiful. It's fucking dirty.
Like, girl, nobody uses coal anymore, girl. Like, stop trying to make coal happen, girl. Right. Like the Mean Girls, like literally, like nobody, like unless you're China building all these coal plants, nobody uses coal. Like coal, they say in the fucking article, coal is 99% more expensive than every other thing. It's dirtier. Literally, why are we still? Didn't you go to Venezuela for fucking oil? You know what I mean? Get the oil from Venezuela. Why are we? I just want to inject some coal into Trump's veins, you know what I mean, and let them just do what coal does in veins.
I just wish we put all this energy into renewable energy sources.
Jeez, yeah, it's like climate. Like there's so many ways and facets in which Donald Trump being president is just fucking us, right? But climate change is so big because like right now is the time when we could be doing the things to save billions of lives later. And we're wasting it because we're doing stupid shit like trying to the jumpstart coal. Yeah. You fucking stupid old...
And he don't care because he ain't going to be alive when climate change.
He's not alive now. The motherfucker's barely kicking now. You know what I mean?
Sleeping during meetings.
Right. He wakes up every... and then he just fucking True Social posts and he falls asleep again. You know what I mean?
The coal lobby got him in a chokehold. I don't know.
The chokehold girl. The coal lobby is bending him over and banging him left and right. I mean, the coal lobby got that good dick. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why he won't let coal go because when you got that good dick, you don't let it go, girl.
He keeps taking it.
Thank you, girl. He's taking it and like we just gotta say we all say to people when you know you got bad dick, you gotta say no, girl. You know what I mean? Bad dick is bad dick. You know what I mean?
All dick ain't good dick.
It ain't good. You know, it feels good at the time, but then afterwards you feel dirty and bad about yourself.
Yeah, I mean the other thing is like he got kids, and grandkids. Like He's leaving a shitty world for everybody.
Yeah, it was because he don't give a fuck. Remember, he couldn't even go to his own son's wedding.
Right? Oh my god.
He couldn't go to his own son's wedding because of the war. But you started the war at Mar-a-Lago. Like, I don't understand. You started the war at dinner with your friends, but you couldn't go to your son's wedding because of the war. Like, everything about Trump, like, my God, but it's like these kind of headlines that make me want to like just dive into his irritable bowel and be like, yeah. You know what I mean? You get gout. Get gout.
Not going to your own son's wedding is crazy.
Right.
But that's him. He's so narcissistic.
You know, his son should have had a wedding on a coal finery, and then they would have been there.
He'd have been there.
Like, baby, daddy, I'm having my wedding at the inauguration of this new coal factory. He would have been like, sign me up, son.
He'd be there front and center.
Son of a bitch. I can't stand Trump. I cannot stand. Let's just all say it together. 1, 2, 3. I hate Trump. I can't stand. Well, look,
we didn't really go on.
What are we going to say? I hate Trump or I can't stand
I hate Trump.
That's what say fuck Trump.
Fuck Trump.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Fuck Trump. Oh, okay. I still don't feel. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Fuck Trump. Okay, now we're going to go to pop culture news. My fucking God. Fucking coal. Right? The only coal I want is a man named Cole to bury some coal in me, okay? Okay. And we're back with pop culture news. The SpaceX IPO is great for Elon Musk and terrible for you. So I just want to say that I just want to do a little blurb. I included the SpaceX IPO in pop culture because I really do think that the only fucking reason that Elon Musk and SpaceX and this whole thing is even a thing is because of pop culture. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that's why, if you guys are wondering, let's get into it. Article synopsis. So this is basically just the article synopsis coming directly quoting from the article, but lots of the top line details leaked long before the S1 filing itself became public of the IPO. Here are the issues with it. There's the rumored valuation of more than $1 trillion. That's despite the nearly $5 billion in losses last year that SpaceX had. The total addressable market for SpaceX, the amount of revenue SpaceX thinks it could make if it went over what it thinks is the entire market, the entire customer base, was listed at $28.5 trillion. By way of comparison, the gross domestic product of the United States as a whole was a hair over $24 trillion, according to the St. Louis Fed. This is absurd nonsense, says the article, but it might not matter. Musk is the original financial influencer, and his struggling electric car company, Tesla, trades at more than 300 times earnings. Ford and Toyota both traded about 11 times earnings. Even NVIDIA, a company that is arguably printing money, trades at 33 times earnings. Tesla is a meme stock, and SpaceX is poised to be the next one. Never mind that it's basically a space company plus an AI company plus a social network. A meme stock doesn't have to make sense. What do you think?
Yeah, I got the feeling like this is kind of like in the 2000s when they had the .com bubble.
Yeah.
And there was all this money going into all these websites, and then all of a sudden it just burst and people lost a lot. I think this is the same thing. The same thing with Anthropic, OpenAI. They're going to do an IPO soon, I would imagine, as well. And yeah, man, it kind of sounds like a grift.
Kind of, bitch. I mean, girl, this is like a grift. It's like tattooed on your arm, GRFIT. You know what I mean? GRFIT. Like that's why I wanted to put it in the pop culture, because this is literally my problem. Like, and they talk about in the article, like, Tesla is a shitty company. Tesla is barely making cars anymore. And based on what, it's a shitty company because it was shit to its employees, and it was racist to its employees. It barely made any fucking cars compared to, it made like 300,000 cars a year or something like that, or maybe 1 million cars a year compared to the millions that, you know what I mean, Toyota or all the other cars make.
And that Cybertruck is grotesque.
The Cybertruck was a fucking mess. They didn't come out with a new, like a smaller, it's like a smaller number car, right, or a lower value car, right? They didn't come up with a cheaper car so that could actually hit the market. So I mean, like, literally, like, Tesla isn't even really making cars now. It's right, like, it's moved on to like maybe making like, you know, like AI cars that don't drive themselves. But I mean, Waymo and like, you know, all these other things are so far ahead of that.
Yep.
So literally Tesla is being prepped up by nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Elon Musk is being prepped up by nothing. And then that's the thing about this IPO, the SpaceX IPO, is that when you look into it, it's like Elon has all of these companies connected. Some of them do good things. Some of them do good things well, but most of it is just based on like debt, fake value. He borrows against things, borrows against that. You know what I mean? Like most of the Cybertrucks were bought by SpaceX, and they're just sitting on fucking lots. You know what I mean? Because what do they need them to go to the fucking moon? Do you know what I mean? And then he basically leverages debt in one company for another company. He buys things like X. You know what I mean? Just so he can just have talking points to keep his name, because essentially X was the smartest thing he bought because it kept his name out there.
Yeah.
Because that essentially, it's literally his name being out there and his name being there is the only thing keeping him rich.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really, I don't want to call him a nobody, but he's deeply insecure. And he needs to be front and center on something. I mean, like the fact that the other thing about the IPO is that he's going to have about 85% of the voting power. So it's like, you can't even remove him.
Right. And so that's the other thing. Like the IPO is basically saying that he gets to do whatever he wants. You can't remove him. You have no power. It's not even good for the shareholders. Literally, this is just to enrich the 2 or 3 people. And then they're going to use this and do another shell game with all the money. And that's the other thing that really pisses me off about wealth and what wealthy people do and all this kind of shit. It's like wealthy people can do whatever they want. And the things that wealthy people do, poor people are told is bad financial theory.
Right.
You know what I mean? Buying against debt. You know what I mean? Using debt to get more, to secure more debt or to secure money. That's the shit they tell you can't do. And then if you do, you're bad. But when you're rich enough, you can do whatever you want and you can do that. And it just makes you richer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you can, you know what I mean? How many times have we seen Elon Musk like refuse to pay rent and have to get to the point where he's sued for that, or refuse to pay vendors and then they have to be sued for that. So I mean, he doesn't even pay his fucking bills. He doesn't even, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy to me. And now we're trying to say he's the richest man in the world. He's not even the richest man in the world. If based on he's the richest man in the world based on a financial system that has money that doesn't even exist. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And like you said in the synopsis, SpaceX lost money last year. Like where are they getting this valuation at?
Right. And then they're talking about like the valuation of SpaceX, the total market is 24 trillion. Where? Yeah. Where is this 24? Who is buying whatever the fuck SpaceX is? Who is buying to go up into the stars? Do you know what I mean? To the tune of 24 trillion when the entire United States market is 24 trillion. So that would mean that all of America is paying to go into space. No, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't even make, nothing makes sense. And so like he said, like I even said, it's a meme stock that doesn't need to make sense. But what does make sense is that him keeping his name out there and doing all this crazy shit, you know what I mean? Just so that we're always talking to Elon Musk, is what then keeps him rich, because he's not really that rich. Yeah. To say he's the richest man in the world, based on nothing, based on, inflated stocks, based on inflated whatever, because if you actually look at, the valuations of his company, what his companies are actually worth, what they actually do, most of them are shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Tesla is shit. Tesla has a couple of things, a supercharger network, and that's really about it. You know what I mean? And they maybe have some...
And Starlink,
right? Okay, he has Starlink, you know what I mean? And then SpaceX. SpaceX, it's probably gotten farther along in terms of making rockets, but you have other things, like you have Jeff Bezos' company, you have NASA, you have other companies, and the only reason we've allowed SpaceX to go so far is because NASA's a piece of shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because we've let NASA fall by the fucking wayside.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean it's the grift, and people keep falling for it.
Right, and because it's a self-perpetuating cycle, right? Like we say he's rich, and therefore everything he does makes him richer, and then because we think he's rich, he can do stupid shit, and then we allow it to make him richer. But you look under the hood, and he's broke. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He ain't got no money. He's leveraging debt on leveraging debt, and he and the financials of his companies are shit. You know what I mean? But we're going to give this man $1 trillion pay package because the decisions he's made have been horrible as a CEO. He fucking destroyed Tesla. Mm-hmm. Tesla was a good company before he came and started talking shit and blah, blah, blah.
Right. And he was part of Doge.
Yeah.
too, which which went and stole all our fucking information.
Yeah, you remember when the fucking the federal government douched and then it didn't douche right, you know what I mean, and got the wrong shit out, you know what I mean? Like it douched with remember like Fleet, you're supposed to like douche, they told you not to douche with Fleet because it was made for vaginas and blah blah. So he just kept douching with Fleet and he stripped out all the moisture. You know what I mean? Now you got a dry ass coochie of a federal government. Like the fuck. Anyway, let's just move on to the protest section. So the examples of the protest sections, we talk about protests around the world. In Newark, New Jersey, there's ongoing and highly publicized protests erupted outside the Delaney Hall Immigration Detention Center. The demonstration began after detainees launched a hunger and labor strike over alleged poor living conditions. The protests intensified in the clashes with federal agents and state police, leading to dozens of arrests, curfews, and injuries. Power out to the people of Yes, of New Jersey. And now we're going to move to our positive news section, where we talk about something positive. Because my God, Trump, Jesus Christ. But here's a couple of things. So plastic eating tech, an 18-year-old developer in Ghana engineered an innovative bioplastic that completely dissolves, offering a major breakthrough in combating worldwide plastic pollution. And then from Miracle Trees, a newly published study revealed that seeds from a specific miracle tree can remove 98% of microplastics from drinking water, drastically changing how filtration can work globally. Look at that. You know what I mean? Like those trees we trying to kill have secrets that we didn't even know we needed. Yep. We didn't even know we needed to get microplastics out the water, and now we got trees that are doing them.
I love it.
Thank you. Trees that we might not have because we were burning fucking coal plants. You know what? I'm just over coal plants. I'm over UFC. I'm over SpaceX. You know what I mean?
It's all a joke.
I'm over it all right now. Yeah. And on that note, we're going to end this show. Up next is a panel on being a ginger. It's really, 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 really fucking good. Plus, I did some new editing, which I think is amazing. So you guys tell me if you like it. Post comments in the shows. Thank you, Jason, for being here.
You're welcome.
Amazing as always. And as always, remember to follow me so you'll know when I post new shows. Remember to listen, rate, share, and laugh. And as always, keep it sassy, San Francisco. Ciao, ciao. Hello everyone, it is I, Ramon, and I am back with another panel. This one on being a ginger snap. I'm sorry, being a ginger. Ginger snap is what they like to be called at night, right? So, yes, this is When in Rome, another panel. This panel is on being a ginger. And I've been thinking about doing this panel for a little bit. Oh my God, sorry. Let me just introduce you. Jesus, before I just go, I just always forget that. This is Mark. This is Seth. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
I shouldn't have to explain why. It should be pretty obvious. They're not dye jobs. I checked. Okay, so I've been thinking about doing this for a panel for a little bit, and I got the idea after talking to a couple of my friends, Seth being one of them, about their experiences. And when you sit down and listen to their stories, they put up with some wild shit from the community. People really think they can just say anything in gingers, right? So I wanted to thank you two for sitting down to talk with me about your experiences. Hopefully, we could shed some light on what life is like being a little ginger snap. When you pale in comparison to a flame. Oh, did you like that?
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get started. Start with your name, where you're from, and if the curtains match the drapes.
Hi, I'm Seth. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, and yes, kind of. But honestly, that is an interesting question because my entire body is like an ombre of hair color. My arm is kind of blonde, my hair is kind of mid, my beard is really red, and then this very red.
It's like a Jackson Pollock kind
of
does ginger kind of thing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Mark?
I'm Mark. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and they definitely do. They definitely have changed over time, though. I think that was the other part, was that being young and you were like, is it the same? I don't know.
Not like climate change, right? They've gotten like climate change. Everything's gotten a little more yellow and golden over the years.
There's a tint.
Right. You know what's really funny? When I actually wrote that last part, I didn't actually expect you to answer the question. So I'm glad that you two just volunteer.
Well, here we are.
Girl, shut up. But you guys were just like, come right on in. So that bodes well for this.
Yes, definitely.
So let's jump right on into that, just flaming patch of whatever. All right, so first question. What was it like growing up as a little redheaded boy? Did you have incidents surrounding your hair?
I thought that it was normal for a while, but then I feel like middle school really changed things. I think that was the time where you just like realized that other people got tan on summer vacation, and you came back looking like a blown out cherry. and it was just like it was a different time to like you sort of got self-conscious about yourself, and I think that just got amplified by
and then kids, right? Kids are horrible.
My gosh,
like, my God.
Yeah. And like the whole South Park thing really just like set things off. Like
what
it
was the South Park thing?
Oh, it was the gingers have no souls, and it was the South Park episode, and then it never ended from there. Yeah.
It's kind of like a resurgence, right?
Yeah.
Over history, there's been this, right? What about you?
Same, honestly. I thought it was interesting mostly because I feel like when kids start getting mean, you know, in that middle school era, was the same time that the South Park thing
It was
came
like
out.
crazy timing.
And I was in a position where, like, I'm from Ohio. I went to a Catholic school. There was not a lot of diversity. So when people found, like, the diverse thing to pick on, they were like, absolutely, this is it. So, yeah, the growing up was fine until, middle school, and people started looking for, like, things to differentiate you with.
And I'm sure the gingers have no souls
Yeah.
did not go over well in, you know what I mean? In the Catholic school with
Yes,
the mean
also
kids.
true.
It's a real insult.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh
Right.
my God, Mom. And she's like, no. And then I'm kind of like, actually nowadays, I'm like, thank God I don't have a soul. There's no eternal retribution for any of the shit I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, according to the Jews, this is hell. So, all right. Okay, so does your family obviously like have a history of red hair, and do you guys have the stories of like dealing with incidents that like have traveled down in your family?
Okay, so for me, not really. And actually,
What, you're the only redhead?
my parents don't have red hair. My grandparents don't have hair. My dad and mom have distant cousins that have red hair. But growing up, it like actually kind of fucked me. I was very convinced I was adopted. Because,
Yeah, I can see that.
well,
right?
my mom had me really late in life. They claimed that I was like this miracle baby, and I had red hair and didn't match either of them. And I was like, you guys, this seems like an absolute load of shit.
Yeah.
So no,
I can't imagine my son being like, guys, like, can you just tell me I'm adopted, right? Like, no, you're not. But look.
Yeah, but isn't it obvious?
I don't look
It's
like
obvious to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mark, what about you?
My mom loves to tell this story where she was in the car with my dad and she was pregnant with me, and she turns to my dad and she goes, "What if he's a redhead?" And he was like, "Well, it's possible because he was saying that his dad, my grandfather, was a redhead but was totally bald, and then my mom's mom was also a redhead, but she dyed her hair since she was like 60. And so it was this thing where they were both like, oh my God, like maybe that'll happen, whatever. And then out I came, and they were like, yeah, I guess that was the odds.
Baby.
Yeah.
Or you say recessive, I say ate everything else in the womb. Okay, so where in the country would you say, or world or country, would you say you've had the most issues?
The United States of America.
Okay.
For sure.
Interesting.
Sure.
For sure. It's like completely, I love traveling for that exact reason, because either I like go to the UK and it's like completely normal and everybody's like that,
Yeah.
or you go to like somewhere where everyone's like, ooh, the redhead, and then it's become like an exotic fantasy. Here, it's like there's just enough to be picked on, not special, not normal, and it's like, that's my least favorite.
Basically, you're like a different kind of white. We don't
Yeah,
get it.
Yeah.
exactly.
You don't match our
Yeah.
rigid strictures of what white should be like.
Yeah.
I got it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like I spent some time in Italy during school, and it was just very interesting how people would just assume I was an Irish tourist. And they were just like, oh, like you're just like a guy visiting, and like how's it going, bruv? And like sort of just assuming a completely different thing about me. And then all of my friends that were like at least ambiguous enough to be like passing as Italian or something, they would immediately get questioned in Italian or in whatever language, and they would just look at me and they'd be like, so what do you want at the like there's never an assumption that you're anything other than just like
What
and
they say.
yeah,
It's not
exactly.
very- I get it. When I went to Europe, I was in Paris, and 3 different groups of people came up to me like, "You're Nigerian," and I was like, "No, I'm black." And I understand that they're like, Nigerian black slave trade. No, you're Nigerian. I can tell you your tribe.
Okay.
Okay, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't been there in
Yeah.
a while. Let's just say
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Wonder if they miss me. You know? Shit. Okay, so here's the question: how does SF compare to other places in terms of incidents, point of view?
I think that it's similar to like how it feels, and I don't mean to like say this in any other capacity other than like the the novelty of being a redhead, but I'm sure it's similar to like the novelty of being black or whatever. Like, yes, it's rare, but it's also like people are trying to be cool about it because we're like, we're a liberal city, so why on earth would we ever say anything mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that vibe. So I don't mind it here, but I'm also like, I feel like there's definitely some soul jokes that people are holding back on. They're just like, I don't know if I can say it.
Yeah, I mean, but I would say that like this is probably the place where I've heard the most amount of people be like, I'm really into redheads. You know
This
I mean?
is also true.
Thing, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? So,
I was gonna mention that as like the like approach because you look a certain way, and they're like, "What's your vibe? What are you up to?" And like,
when I told people I was having this, there were like at least 2 or 3. They're like, "I want to be there." So I was like, "Oh wow!"
Not even trying to hide it. Yeah.
Hi everyone. Hi. You know what I mean?
Well, and I don't mean to like jump any gun here, but that's like a huge part of like the change between middle school to like growing up to adult where people liked it, and I was like, not only are you not making fun of me for it, you're like fetishizing me for it. I don't even know how to feel. Like,
I don't even believe it. I'm like, you're joking. Like, this is a bit.
Yeah, because everyone's usually making fun of it. So like now you're like, oh, this is really hot. What?
I mean, what's that? They say that thing, like the things that they made fun of you in school for, they'll love you for when you get older. So, I mean, you know what I mean? I guess
being
that's
gay
true.
and people are obsessed with that now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, they really are. Jesus. Okay, so give me your horror story.
Oh, that is a tough one.
I feel like the horror story for me was honestly just all of the first messages on any kind of like dating app, mostly like Grindr, where it was all very image based, and so it was never like, hey, handsome. It was always like, I love your light pink nipples, or I like can't wait to see your fiery red pubes, and it was
fiery crotch.
And it was just like went straight there every single time, and even like on things at back then that were like innocent, like Tinder back then, where it would still kind of start off with like a weirdly sexual note because they wanted to talk about my hair first, which I just in general like in terms of dating, and the craziest part was that 90% of the time always came from white people. It was never like anyone else. And then I told Lance this story. It was like, people were always like, oh, so you are always dating like people of color, blah, blah. And I was like, do you know what a person of color has never done to me on a first date? They never held out their wrist and held up to me. Oh,
of
my God,
course.
you're so much more pale than me. No fucking shit. I am a redhead. I should be more pale than you. Work on your melanin if that's not the case. But no person of color is ever trying to compare that. So
constantly.
The early dating was always my horror story. Every single one of them in a different way.
Yeah, I feel like the beach is like a battlefield. Like you are fighting. You're fighting with like the people telling you to always put sunscreen on, and you're just like, can I just be a normal person? Can I just like frolic and be fine? And then other people being like, wow, you're like really pale. And like, what if? And then they like, they're like, and you wear, and they're like, wow, you're wearing a Speedo and you're so pale. And I'm like, sorry, it's the beginning of fucking April. Like, what do you want from me?
You know, I can tell you that I've probably not been that, but I've definitely like seen like a friend who's a redhead putting on sunscreen. Like, good, you need it, good.
And the problem is that like you should be saying that. It needs to happen, and I'm just like, I probably just have some chip on my shoulder.
No, because I mean, like, I feel like you're right. Like, if everyone says that, then you're getting it from everyone. And it's annoying, and you don't want to necessarily have to talk about the fact that you're putting on sunscreen every time.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
My body, my choice. Let me get sunburned.
Hey, with white people, whenever I see that I'm putting on lotion, I'm like, good. Okay, I don't care how you feel. We need to reinforce it. Good. You need to hear it from more people. You're putting on lotion. Shit. Okay. So that's just the battlefield. Okay, and then we'll do another question. That's kind of funny.
The beach is a battlefield.
Yeah, it
is.
is.
A battlefield. That's a tagline.
Oh my gosh, we found it.
It's going to be in the promo for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last question before we go to break: have any times been where being a redhead has been fun, or we're able to use it to your advantage?
I feel like I was saying earlier about the traveling, specific places like Barcelona, like the Latin folks usually love a redhead, and I remember like going around, and usually like, you know, Lance is really attractive, so usually when we travel places, people are like, oh, big muscles, and they're really obsessed with him.
Lance is his
partner, yes.
Yes.
And he is big
Hot
and
Mess
ripped.
Express. I'm
Yeah.
joking. If you remember, Lance was on Being with the Party Promoter. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Oh my God, look at that crossbow situation. Oh my.
So it was like places like that. I'm like, oh my God, everyone's coming up and talking to me. And
Yeah.
then Lance was also kind of like,
And
a
he's
little
like
bit-
kind of a
he was
little
like,
mad.
I'm not used to this.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of love it. This is like a one little so that.
Right, I'm just a
travel-
girl.
Yeah.
It's like the people that come
One night only.
Yeah.
just the one. And weirdly in Long Beach, that was the other time when I was
Long
Long
Beach.
I know, I don't even
That
know.
is random.
I was like, Lance, people are just wanting to talk to me.
Look
He
at you
was
being
like,
the king of ripples. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Oh
the
my
king of
gosh.
executive suites. Woo! Okay, work.
I am gonna say the classic cliche, which is Ireland. Just like you sort of just get treated like everyone else, and you're like, I even remember the cab driver. Like, I got in a cab, and he turned to me and he was like, "So where do you live?" You know, like he was just like trying to chat me up immediately and just wanted to know like everything about my life. And I was like, "Oh, I'm not like
One of
here."
you.
Yeah, like
I'm
I
just
wish. Like
one of you.
this is crazy though, because you're just immediately like
welcomed right
friendly. Yeah, in a crazy
and,
way.
And it's just like you don't have to deal with all the microaggressions,
Yeah.
micro whatever it is, right?
It was like
Gestures,
it was shocking to me. It was crazy. Yeah.
I can see that could be like a, you know what I mean, like a line fuck. Like when I go,
Yeah.
like, you know, I've lived in San Francisco forever. Then I went to Atlanta, and I was just like, oh my God, my people. You know what I mean? Just like being around them in so many different facets. You don't have to deal with certain things, or you do have to do with other things.
Yeah.
Right? And so it was very refreshing.
Yeah.
That's like a good time for gonna go to break. We're gonna go to break. They're gonna reapply their, you know what I mean, hair color. Just joking.
It's melting.
I'm not. Yes. We'll be back.
just my eyebrows.
And we're back, everyone. Hi. I did, you know, I had a good break. I hope you guys did. Did you?
Yes.
Really cool. Don't really care, but I just wanted to, like, you know, I mean, fill the air with something.
Yeah.
You know. All right. So thank you guys. We were talking about whether you guys use your advantage, and you were saying that you felt like the only slut in Barcelona, and then you said you went to Ireland, and you know what I mean, and you know what I mean,
My
like,
people.
Bendola. I don't have the accent at all, but you know I was going with that.
Yes, yeah.
Braveheart meets a backroom dark
Yeah.
room, you know what I mean?
I've always said that about Mark.
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
pretty tough. You look great in the kilt, by the way.
Thank you.
welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so Seth, you once mentioned that you once mentioned that finding makeup that works for your skin color is like a thing. Is that like, how much of a thing is that?
Okay, so, and it's not even so much skin color, which it is part of it, but I also think that's because I have a lot of pink undertones, and for really
Same.
pale skin, a lot of the white colors are a little more for the Asian market, which have a little bit more of the yellow undertones, so a red undertone is kind of rare. So cover up in general, you have to be sparse with it. But the one thing was when I wanted to start like coloring my eyebrows because they're naturally blonde. Again, it's like that ombre of color that I was talking about. It's like nothing really matches. So
basically matching your body with like makeup is like paint by numbers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like each section
Yes,
is a
each
different.
section
Yeah.
is literally
Yeah.
because like I wanted to do my eyelashes and sometimes I touch up my beard, but they're all different colors to get them to kind of even out about the same.
Right.
But I went, I went to Sephora and they just have like a lot of different browns. They have a lot of like blonde versions of it. And I asked the person like, no, not really. And so I literally asked, like, I met this guy and he was like, oh, I'm a purchaser for Sephora. And I like went off and I was like, this is kind of crazy because you guys, you remember like this happened with people of color where you weren't representing them in the store. Like, I know we're a small percentage of the population, but I think that because of that, they couldn't justify the numbers, so they just don't do it. So there is a brand that I use. It's called Ginger Lash. My friend Maeve actually introduced it.
Wow.
I just think that's really spot on.
Yeah. They got to get to their market.
I guess they really want you to know from just the name.
But Maeve found it on like TikTok and she sent it to me because she knew that I couldn't match my colors that well.
Does it work?
And it works. And they have like auburn and like a mid-tone and like, so there's actually so many different types of red, and I've never seen that in a store ever.
Wow.
It's only available online, and they have such like a really cute program, and I think that they know that all these people have been like looking for this product, so they send like cute little supportive stickers like Ginger Love and like, all this stuff.
I like
and
that.
They
That's
like
really
try
cute.
to make a whole branding about it, and the one part about that is like a little annoying, but it doesn't matter because overall I'm glad it's there. But it's like it's very like
what's the annoying part?
it's just for like it's for girls. They don't like they're just like, oh, it's like so cutesy. I'm like, but you guys should just know that like all redheads could use a little touch up. So it's like, let's move on to the next.
I love it. That's your note. You know what I mean? Like, you should like send a voice note like, "Hey, not everybody is a young girl with this."
Really late.
Right.
A voice sticker.
Yeah, right. It's Pride Month. What the hell?
Jeez.
I like that.
Red's the
Please.
first color of the rainbow.
Have you found any issues like that, Mark, with finding makeup?
I think so. The story that comes to my mind is that we were doing this like French Rococo party.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna get some powdery makeup. I just want to look a little dusted, a little like Frenchy.
Yeah.
And I got white, and it was terrifying to put on because it just became. I looked like a penguin. It wasn't even like I looked like there was some undertone. It was just like the weirdest white. Yeah. And I ended up using blush, and it looked amazing. And it was like, wow, how am I this pink that it's... It was just
I mean, okay, I feel like, that sucks. But 2, it's cool that you were able to make it work.
Yeah.
And then 3, maybe just get out of your head. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
I blush.
Yeah.
I am not a cover-up.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's a funny one. There's a lot of pink undertones. It's really interesting.
Yeah, but I guess you're right. It's kind of like how pink I have to be.
Yeah. Or how sunburnt am I?
Yeah. That's true, right? Because I guess that depends on how red. You're probably like, damn it, I was in the sun a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So any other ways that you feel like you are left out of the zeitgeist?
That's a good one.
I don't know about... I guess I know that this sounds silly, but it's almost like you don't know what you don't know. And I feel like that there was a lot of things that, like, in hindsight, when I found makeup finally, or when I, like, found a group that, like, thought I was really hot when I grew up. Like, there's just a lot of things that, like, after you see how they either have been for other people or could have been for you at a different point, that's when you realize you've been left out. And so there might be things that I'll find out later. But
is there anything that you like? Okay, so makeup was one. Is there any other ways or places that you want representation?
I was gonna point out just that like I feel like Eddie Redmayne is like the only like ginger actor growing up that I was like, oh, that's like an attractive man that is like doing something interesting, and even
there's some girls, but I mean, but there's redheads. Men.
Even just looking for like reference photos for haircuts. I feel like I need to see it in red hair.
Yeah.
And that is just like always a slog.
That's a good point because when people compare me to find like your celebrity look-like, they always say Conan O'Brien, and I was like,
and he leans into his own gingerness.
Like, yes, I have a swoop and red hair, and I'm tall.
Yeah, you squinted.
Like,
good job.
What else do I have in common with this man?
Bro, you don't get me talking. Like, when people call you both Bob the drag queen, Titus Andromeda, and Grace Jones the same night. You're just like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna pick one of those.
Yeah.
Actually, there's nothing wrong with the other two, but you know what I mean? Like.
You're right. There's not a lot of like red representation, and the one time that there was, it like pissed me off because Target went so fucking hard on every full ass redheaded family, which then also is weird because I didn't come from a full redheaded family. So you're like
the Weasleys make no sense to me.
You just like make up these like redheaded tropes of like these clans of people with red hair, and it's like, okay, I still don't see myself in that.
Yeah. Because I mean that's true. I mean like when I asked this question, I really didn't know, like you know what I mean. But it's a recessive gene, right? So if you think about it, generally,
why would there be a whole family of redheads?
I mean, I guess even in like where is red hair like traditionally from?
Ireland.
Yeah.
I don't have any Irish in me at all. Everyone always assumes it's Ireland, but I don't have any Irish.
But I wonder in Ireland, do they have family of redheads, or is it still recessive there? Do you know what I mean? In the same sense?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a recessive gene, right? But
I think it still is, but
everybody has a recessive gene eventually.
Yeah. Then it
I've had too many fights with people about recessive genes that I don't want to be on the public record about. The number of times we've done the little chart, and they're like, "No, but don't you get it?" Yeah.
It's a mutated gene.
Okay, let's ask you another question. Do you have any tips out there for other gingers out there fighting the good fight?
La Roche-Posay is an incredible sunblock, and it goes on so light.
Say it again.
La Roche-Posay.
La Roche-Posay.
And it is my personal favorite because you do sometimes have to wear like an all-day sunscreen, and your skin breaks out so badly. So that was an incredible find as an adult. I wish I wasn't rubbing on like Neutrogena or that shit. Anyway, that's me.
I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do if you want to be out in the sun, bitch. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
But you also can't use a retinol because it'll get rid of your freckles.
So
And so there's this weird thing where you're really fighting just in this like sunscreen world.
And there is one area where I'd say for like there is some legitimacy to like the needing more anesthesia thing. Because I did have a lot of surgeries, and luckily the nurses were like pretty down, but I was like, seriously.
I've noticed it with laughing gas.
Please fucking knock me out, because there's been too many times where the doctor's like, you can't feel this. I'm like, yes.
Oh, so like redheads, like they're like whale husk. You know,
yeah.
It takes the drugs a lot to get in there.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was something.
Yeah, and the other weird thing is, just don't even try bleaching your hair, because it's so
please
hard
do
to
not.
get. This holds on to color so much. It was like it burned my whole scalp
Before it ever got like fully blonde.
Oh, it still even was more just like a strawberry blonde at the
That's
end.
crazy that like my black hair, I can go completely blonde really quickly, and red hair just like the red just
it holds
won't
on to it. It's like
you were going, no, we did all that to be redhead. You're gonna be red.
But it's also why you tend to go gray a little bit later, because it holds on to it so much. But
that's cool.
Also true.
And then when you do go gray, I'm sure that transition is like autumn. You know what I mean?
It goes to white. I want to look like Santa.
That's
my goal.
Yeah, the Santa line really. That's the play.
That's interesting. That's a different panel. Okay, but we are definitely going to talk about that. Because there's, like I said, there's some gifts to be given.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. What does allyship look like to you? Oh, sorry, Mark. Did you feel like you answered that too?
Yeah. I feel good about it.
What does allyship look like to you?
Okay, the most magic thing in the world happened on TikTok like a couple months or a year ago.
Okay.
And it was when that lady was like, gingers are black, and it was crazy, and it's absolutely ridiculous, but she said this, and then it like weirdly started this larger conversation where all of these things where we're talking about how people instantly sexualize you, or like want to touch your hair, or like make comments about your, oh, I've never been with a redhead before, or oh, I don't usually like redheads, but you're really hot, like all these random backhanded compliments, or feeling othered, and all of a sudden all of these black people were like, whoa, y'all, white people hate you too?
Yeah.
And it was like this really cute moment where even though there was like this, it's like these two groups that didn't know that they had
It's commonality.
a commonality.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's even the strongest, but it's like that there was something. And then there was all these videos that I kept scrolling past, because obviously I was feeding into the algorithm. And these black girls would be like, y'all are welcome to the barbecue, but you bring napkins.
We don't know what,
You're not bringing any food. We don't want your mayonnaise mac and cheese.
And I hate to say it's Mark, but some sunscreen. Ooh, okay, you know what I mean? Because it gets hot out there. Okay.
It was so cute, and it made me so happy to see every single one of those videos.
Yeah.
And it was adorable, and it cheered me up, and that's like beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Mark?
That's awesome. I feel like my line is sort of a little circuitous, but I think that the people who have come out and talked about Gaza, who are Irish and have colonial like alignments with the Troubles, and like the way that I do identify with like the Irish struggle for independence, has just felt like, even in being in a totally different place in a totally different time, I do feel like a deep connection to that, and I do associate like my skin color, eye color, hair color to like a larger struggle, even if it's not like in my lifetime. Yeah.
That's your right.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
Are you Irish?
Yeah.
Then, that's fine.
It's
you know
totally
what I mean?
there.
That's what you should be doing. That's your race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you are, especially when race equals experience in a lot of our world, right? And so, if you are, and you get that experience a lot, regardless of whether people know you're Irish or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just based on social cues or visual cues, why would you not? Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
And Irish are proud people. You should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was really good. Oh, one other question. And then we'll end this. Would you date a ginger?
Okay, this answer has changed over time, because I do think I had that like same thing with like the internalized homophobia and why I was in the closet at all, but like I was really not into redheads, and also largely white people for the way that they were treating me as a redhead.
Hey, I don't like the way you're saying redheads. You know what I mean? Like, let's put a little respect on that.
Hold it.
But like since I came into finding like there are times when I like look in the mirror, I'm like, I'm so glad I have red hair. I'm so glad I'm a redhead. And once I came into that confidence and that feeling and that like excitement about what I had to bring to the table, that is when my perspective changed, and I was like, yeah, I absolutely would. I feel like there's so few of us. It's like I don't want to steal them from the people that are obsessed with them, because I don't have the same passion.
Not the Betty Boop, no, but I would. But there's so few of us, honey. Go out there and show us that, guys. You know what I mean? Show them what you got, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I just am so too aware of the like dating yourself trait where I'm just like, I just can't.
So you're doing to them. Okay.
Yeah.
Not colonizing the colonizer. But that is your right. Okay, baby. You're like, I would I would rage with you, but I won't rage with you. I got it.
I mean,
got it. I
with
mean,
the
you
right
like
time,
the
right place.
My spark of fire. That was me.
Too much friction.
Hey, yeah. All right, guys. This has been really fun. I hope you've had a good time.
Totally.
So,
Lovely.
I feel like I've learned a lot. You know what I mean? When next time I see a ginger snap, I'm going to be like, you know what? I got you. I know exactly what time, Jujambouche or whatever kind of, I'm going to look up that sunscreen. You know what I mean? That's how you get to a ginger's heart. Yeah. You fuck him and you be like, hey, I got something for your skin.
I got something for you.
Hey, baby. You know what I mean? Come on, Patch Adams. Okay, this has been great. This is When in Rome, being a ginger. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, Mark.
Of course.
Always remember to subscribe to my show so that when I post new shows, you know when I post. Remember to listen, rate, share, and laugh. Let's try our laughs again one more time. It was horrible before. Okay, the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Gay men's chorus laugh. And always remember to keep it sassy, San Francisco. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye. All right. Doe, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun, me, a name I call myself, far, a long way to run for drugs. And you, Jason?
Let me see. I got 7 Mega
needle
11s.
pulling thread, me. Oh, sorry. This is supposed to be your soundtrack. Oh my! I just was like, wow, you sound so amazing,
you
bro.
just going on, girl.
And this kind of so, you know, like God. And we sing "Come Back to Do 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 Do." I think we got the soundtrack. I think we got it.